You're listening to a Roddenberry podcast.
Today is Wednesday, February 17th, 2021, and this is your daily Star Trek news from the Roddenberry Podcast Network. On today's show, it's book-a-palooza with 2 new books that you'll want to know about. Hero Collector's new Deep Space Nine illustrated handbook takes you inside Star Trek's famous station. Una McCormack's newest, Star Trek Discovery Wonderlands, explores Michael Burnham's year alone in the 32nd century. And unrelated to books, but fun nonetheless, I'm taking you back in time for a bit of Star Trek history. I'm Alison Pitt, and today's show is supported by people like you through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/Daily Star Trek News. Right, first up today, Star Trek Deep Space Nine fans, there's a new book out this week telling you everything you could possibly want to know about your favorite former Cardassian space station. The Star Trek Deep Space Nine illustrated handbook was released from Hero Collector last week by editors Simon Hugo and Ben Robinson, and it takes you deep inside Deep Space Nine to find out exactly what makes the station tick. According to the book, the chapters feature the station, the warship, the USS Defiant, and the small, multi-purpose runabouts used as transport by the crew. With technical information from official sources, annotated exterior view, and isometric illustrations of key locations, this handbook provides an extraordinary reference guide to 24th century Federation life on the diplomatic outpost. Like all Hero Collector books, this one looks beautifully illustrated with full-color pictures and diagrams. Series editor Robinson is known for his intricately researched work. It's Robinson who oversees the designs of Eaglemoss's tiny starships. So this handbook is sure to become the definitive view of everything Deep Space Nine. The Star Trek Deep Space Nine illustrated handbook is the 4th in a series of illustrated handbooks by Hero Collector. It follows on from versions for the original series Enterprise and Enterprise A, Star Trek The Next Generation's Enterprise D, and Voyager's, that would be the Voyager. You could get all 4 of those from Amazon.com or other booksellers. Now, for as long as there have been fans of Star Trek, there has been an abundance of Star Trek literature. And veteran author Una McCormack has penned more than a dozen Star Trek novels, including her recent releases Star Trek Picard, The Last Best Hope, and the autobiography of Catherine Janeway. Over the weekend, a report from comicbook.com brought us a look at her latest novel, Star Trek Discovery, Wonderlands. Now, if you haven't seen Season 3 of Star Trek Discovery yet, there may be a few minor spoilers ahead, so just watch out. McCormack's new novel focuses on the life of Michael Burnham after she and the USS Discovery traveled more than 900 years into the future. With Burnham arriving nearly a year before the Discovery, she learns to adapt to new technologies, a new way of life, and a very different future than she had anticipated. How then can she possibly exist day to day in this strange place, the synopsis reads? What worlds are out there waiting to be discovered? Do any remnants of Starfleet and the Federation possibly endure? With more questions than answers, Burnham must nevertheless forge new friendships and new alliances if she hopes to survive this future long enough for the Discovery crew to find her. The cover artwork features a portrait of her compatriot, Cleveland book Booker, as well, so maybe we'll get to see a bit of their budding relationship too. Star Trek Discovery Wonderlands is due out on May 18th of this year, and it'll be available in paperback, as an ebook, and as an audiobook. You can pre-order your copy from Amazon.com or wherever you get your books now. Now, in just a moment, I'll be taking you back in time to find out what happened this week in Star Trek history, but first, a word from me. This show is supported by people like you through Patreon. Your support from as little as $1 a month helps us pay for our expenses like hosting and software, and helps us grow the show so we can bring you even more Star Trek news wherever you are. Please consider supporting the show on Patreon. You can find out more at patreon.com/Daily Star Trek News. That's patreon.com/Daily Star Trek News. And a big thanks to you for supporting this show. Now, let's look back into Star Trek history. It was today, back in 1974, that Star Trek Lower Decks star Jerry O'Connell was born. O'Connell plays the first officer of the USS Cerritos, Commander Jack Ransom. However, Lower Decks is very much not O'Connell's first starring role. He started acting professionally at the age of 12 in 1986's Stand By Me, opposite fellow Star Trek alum Will Wheaton. Since then, O'Connell has had steady work in Hollywood, including leading roles in the series My Secret Identity, Sliders, and Carter. O'Connell is also married to Rebecca Romijn, the actor who currently portrays Number 1 in Star Trek Discovery and the upcoming Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Please join me in wishing Jerry O'Connell a very happy 47th birthday. Tune in again next Wednesday for more Star Trek history. And don't forget to tune in to Daily Star Trek Views, our Friday live show at 1 p.m. Pacific Time on YouTube, where I'm working my way currently through Lower Decks. This week it's episode 4, Moist Vessel. Well, that's it for today's Daily Star Trek News from the Roddenberry Podcast Network. Don't forget to check out the other great shows on the network at podcasts.roddenberry.com. Daily Star Trek News is produced by me, Alison Pitt, with selected stories by Chris Peterson. We're supported by people like you through Patreon. Find out how you can add your support at patreon.com/Daily Star Trek News. And finally, please make sure that you're signed up for the Daily Star Trek newsletter at dailystartreknews.com/contact. Get all the day's Star Trek news delivered straight to your inbox every weekday morning. I'm back tomorrow with more of the Star Trek news you need to know and the weekend's Star Trek events. I'm Alison Pitt. Live long and prosper.
This is a Roddenberry podcast. For more great podcasts, visit podcast.roddenberry.com.